Showers of blessings, everyone. Welcome to Living Single and Satisfied, where we encourage singles to enjoy their life one day at a time. So today I want to share with you a couple of do's and don'ts of what to say to singles. Now, I know people have good intentions, but you need to really think about what questions you ask single people and what things you say to single people. Sometimes they can be offended. Sometimes, it just can come across the wrong way. So I just want to share a few do's and don'ts of what to say and what not to say to single people in general. Now, these are just a few, and there are a lot more out there, but I just want to share with you some. The first thing not to say to a single person is, what is wrong with you? Now, we get this question a lot, when we first meet people, or, every so often people ask us, what is wrong with you? You seem like a good person. Well, what makes you think there's something wrong with us? What makes you think there's something wrong with that single person? That question is very offensive. And please, people, stop asking single people what's wrong with them. That doesn't necessarily mean something is wrong with them just because they're still single. Maybe it's just not their time to be with someone right now or to be married. And then who's to say marriage is the goal in every person's life? Everybody may not want to be married. Marriage may not be for everybody. So again, stop asking single people what is wrong with you. Number 2, what are you waiting for? What kind of question is that? Single people are not waiting for anything. They're basically just waiting to meet someone who compliments them, who encourages them, who motivates them, who's going to fit perfect for them. So that's basically what they're waiting on, people. They're not waiting on the sky to fall or food to fall out the sky. They're just living their life. They're not necessarily waiting on anything. They're just waiting to meet the right person. So again, stop asking, what are you waiting for? Number 3, stop saying, people who already have somebody, people who are already married, stop saying, I wish I was single. No, you don't, because if you did, you would be single. So don't tell a single person, I wish I was single. That's not making them feel any better, especially when you're still in a relationship. I know you trying to, I don't know what you're trying to do by saying that, but please stop saying, I wish I was single, because that does not make a single person feel better, especially, like I said, especially when you're still in a relationship. I know you may have good intentions, but please stop saying that. Stop saying, I wish I was single. Number 4, please stop saying you're not missing out. Not missing out on what? That doesn't sound good coming from someone who has somebody. Just because your relationship may not be, everything, stop telling that single person they're missing out. Maybe they want to find out what they're not missing out on. And again, that doesn't make a single person feel good. So please stop telling single people you're not missing out. Number 4, girl, don't get married. You know how many times I've heard that? Girl, don't get married. Marriage ain't all that, but you're married. Come, let me figure that out. Let the single people figure that out. Just because, and again, don't discourage a single person who wants to get married or who desires to get married. Don't discourage them from getting married. Just find another way to encourage them, or don't even say anything at all about don't get married. But because when you're married, telling a single person don't get married, that goes in one ear and out the other. Because basically they're thinking, just let me find out reasons why I shouldn't get married. Or don't even discourage a person like that. So again, stop saying, girl, don't get married. Number 6, you need to lower your standards. Okay, lower them to what? People have certain things that they desire in a relationship, or they want to have in a relationship. Don't tell people to lower your standards unless it's like basically materialistic stuff. If you're going to encourage someone to lower their standards, just say broaden your horizons. Don't focus on so much material stuff. If you're going to say anything, don't tell nobody to lower their standards. That's like telling them like you think you're not worthy enough for such and such and such and such. Because again, Single people have certain standards. Single people have certain values. Single people have certain things they want out of relationships. So please don't tell them you need to lower your standards. Maybe they need to broaden their horizons, but lowering their standards, that's not really a good thing to say. Okay, and so those are some things not to say. Here's some things not to do when it comes to your single people. Just because you suddenly get married, now don't get offensive. Now, I put that in there. Don't get offensive by these things. I'm just saying. Just because you suddenly get married, don't try to give every single person advice. Boo-boo, they might know more about marriage than you do. They might be better prepared than you are. So if you're going to give single people advice, wait until they ask for it. Every single person does not want your advice just because you suddenly got married. Come on now. Some single people are more wise when it comes to relationships than some married people. Now, I'm just keeping it real. So don't get offended. I'm just saying, every single person does not want to hear all your advice just because you just got married. Thank you very much. Number 2, don't always talk about your marriage around your single friends. Don't always talk about what your man is doing for you. That's kind of inconsiderate. I'm going to put it like that. Now, it's good to share some things with your single friends because, they need to know this, they need to know that, you just feel good about what your mate has done for you. We understand that. But around your single friends, don't always say, my man did this, my man did that, my man bought me this, my man cooked me breakfast. We're glad about that, but sometimes that's being inconsiderate to that single person because they don't have anyone. They desire someone. So it's not good that you continuously brag about your mate or the things that your mate has done around your single friends. And even that's in general. Even if you're dating someone and you have other single friends who are not dating anyone, you have to be considerate about bragging about or saying a lot about your relationship in front of them, especially the good things like what you and your man did and all of that, because that can make that single friend feel some type of way. So you just have to be considerate, even if you're around a friend whose marriage is not going that great and you're in a good dating relationship. You have to be considerate about sharing a certain amount of information around that person because it could make them feel some type of way because their relationship is not going the way that they want it to go. So again, it's all about being considerate, whether you're single or you're married or you're sharing things about your single life or dating life or your married life. You just have to be considerate about the people that are around you. So thank you. Then married people, please don't stop hanging around your single friends just because you're married. Now, I don't mean to make anybody mad. I don't mean to, discount what anybody else said because I've heard that, a lot of people say married people shouldn't have single friends. So if my friend get married, she needs to stop hanging around me just because I'm still single? What kind of sense does that make? Now, she may not hang around me as much, but married people, you should not drop your single friends just because they're still single. I mean, that's inconsiderate. That's something that you just should not do. I don't agree with that at all. So, and how do you think that make the single person feel? Oh, I don't have anybody, so, my friends are going to stop hanging around me. Come on now, you have to be considerate about people's feelings. You have to be considerate about your single friend's feeling as well as your mate. You have to be considerate. So again, married people, don't stop hanging around your single friends just because you got married. That's inconsiderate. To me, that's crazy. I'm sorry. That's just crazy. So those are some things not to say to single people and not to do around single people. So, okay, what do you do? What do you say? Good question. Things to do that you should do with your single friends. Let them bring up being single first. Let them bring up their dating woes and noes and yays. Let them bring that up first. Don't keep asking them, oh, you haven't found anyone yet? Believe me, if they found someone, they will let you know. People, please stop asking a single person, oh, you haven't found anyone yet? I promise you, boo-boo, when they find someone, they will let you know. So let them bring it up first. Do that. Let them bring it up first. And then another thing to be considerate about, just let them vent. If a single person, has dating woes, now I'm not talking about a person who just vents all the time. Now, come on, you might have to stop them like, whoa, get your mind right. All that complaining is not helping the situation. But every now and then, a single person needs to vent about their dating woes or, their hard time finding a reputable mate. Sometimes they do need to vent. So married people or just friends in general, just let them vent. Sometimes just be the listening ear. You don't always have to say something, but it is good to be a listening ear to that single person who may want to just vent about the dating scene or their dating life. So that's something that you can do. And then you can share the ups and downs of being married. If married people, if you just want to share something with single people, share the ups and the downs of being married. Don't just share the downs. Don't just share the ups. Give them a fair view of what it is that they desire in the future. Let them know, hey, marriage has its ups, marriage has its downs. But if you really love a person, if you really desire your marriage to work, then encourage them, hey, you're going to have to just hang in there. You're going to have to stick in there. So if you really want to do something, really want to talk about your marriage, share the ups and the downs, and don't discourage that single person. And then also, to help a single person, what you can do, celebrate what that single person does have going on in their life. You don't always have to talk about that single person not being in a relationship. Celebrate what that single person is doing in their life. They may have started a new job. They may have stepped out on a venture. They may have decided to change their look or hair or just anything. But celebrate the things that they do have going on in their life. Single people will greatly appreciate it. You don't always have to talk about dating. You don't always have to talk about marriage. You don't always have to talk about a mate. You can celebrate the things that single person has going on in their life. So these are just a few of the do's and don'ts I wanted to share with you. I've experienced it. I've experienced even more, but I just wanted to share some of the things that I've experienced with you, and hopefully it will allow people to be more considerate of single people, more considerate of people in general. If you really care about them, if you really care about their single life, take these things into consideration, because we really do appreciate it. So may God bless you, may God keep you, and as we always say at Living Single and Satisfied, may you enjoy your single life one day at a time.